Hey everybody, Rodham here. Thanks for tuning in to Starsector. So last episode, we have been pummeling the church, the Luddic church, and I'm actually going to continue that trend. Before I do that, I want to just set some things up in my fleet. So let me find a... Alright, here we go. Minerva, you are going to get a new name. Vermillion. Alright. That will do. I do have some people that are unregistered. The idea would be to Kevin, or rather Bora, no. I guess they're reckless and aggressive alike. If I have more carriers, I will add them as such. So here's the deal. I am going to try to decivilize the planets. So there's two ways to really interrupt planets. One is to orbital bombard them, which targets civilian installations. And another is to just decivilize them and make them... Oop, that's not what I meant to do. All right, I have to wait another day. You have to wait 1 day between raids, so I'm taking a look at the clock up there. Nope, still gotta wait. There we go. And what I'm trying to do is just raid their planets so hard that they don't recover. I don't know what that fleet's doing. Doing the little jazz hand, the ship jazz hands. So we're using our Marines to just sort of raid this planet as hard as we can. All right, there's nothing for our tactical bombardments to do. Because if we did a saturation bombardment, we could actually depopulate the planets, but it's a war crime. All right, so there's nothing left to disrupt here. I'll launch a raid to steal stuff. They barely have anything to steal. So this planet is a smoldering ruin, essentially. Our Marines targeted all their industries. As you can see, all of the industries are disrupted for about a year. And what we'll do is we will try to go the not war crimes route and just specifically target the church planets very carefully, very specifically. And if that doesn't work, then next episode I might end up pulling no punches and going full war crime, bombing them into smithereens. Now, for other goals, I would like to potentially add some additional AI cores to my... add some additional AI cores, and the purpose of that would be to set myself up for more planets. I'd like to continue colonizing if possible. Some ideas, I think this one was from Talon, was to attempt to have market share of all markets of 50%. Basically, I am the majority of the galactic economy, and I think that's a very good goal to have. It is a little time-consuming, but I'm okay with that. All right, so we're just flying around here and raiding. And I'm going to raid these industries until they cease to exist, essentially. Now, the trouble is, just to show you what a saturation bombardment would do, the Independents and the Persean League would immediately hate me for it. And I rely a lot on the Independents. Not so much the Persean League, but I do rely on the Independents. So what we're trying to do is just disrupt them until they're not disruptible anymore. And hopefully their planets won't recover. And I am just pegging them until they have no stability. I'm not even sure if my raids are all that effective anymore, but I'm going to keep doing them until the planet is fully disrupted. And then I'm going to have to make a note to myself that this is where I disrupted. Alright, so let's see. The orbital station is coming back online sooner than everything else. Everything else is pretty disrupted. 26 days for that orbital station. Alright. I think I think we've done good work there. I'm going to head over to the Tritachyon world and refuel, retool, and get ready for some more madness. Now, saturation bombarding is a lot faster. Let's head to the independent world first. A lot faster than trying to just raid them into oblivion. So there's definitely something to be said for if you're okay with war crimes, if you're okay with pissing off, you know, pretty much all factions possible, that is a very fast method of going about it. Alright, so let's sell that stuff, re-up my materials. I don't need these many. Heavy machinery, not where I'm going, not what I'm doing. Alright, that was black market. Here's open market. Good, that's some good fuel. And now up to the Tritachyon world. Probably shouldn't have flown that close to the sun, but whatever. Alright, mostly just need their fuel. Let's see, do you have... Nope. I just really can't get an Aurora class, no matter what I do, no matter what I try. It's just not going to happen. Alright, jumping out. So, let's make sure that the church, we do the most damage to the actual church first. I'm not going to worry too much about the path, because the pather cells kind of exist whether the path exists or not, I believe. So that's not all that helpful. Hi, Gilead. Alright, so we got monthly income reports and stuff like that. We'll take a look at that in a second. Let's disrupt their megaport. Alright, so we need to disrupt farming here and mining. And their Star Fortress is coming back online soonish. Alright, so mining is gone. And this is also reducing the stability. And the stability is what determines, you know, if the planet decivilizes or not. So we've got a stability of very below 0. And everything is destabilized. Alright. That's about as much damage as we could do. Heading over to the other planet. Essentially, I'm here to troll them to death. Alright, my Marines still need more cooldown. Yeah, Marines can only raid once a day. So we'll start with Starport, and then we'll take a look at what else we need to do. So, mining, refining, orbital works. Gig has been building just making sure that everything that can be upgraded is being upgraded. They're full on industries. I need to add some AI cores to that, some gamma cores or whatever I have available, but I haven't been back home in a while. Alright, viewing their colony info, so it's just refining now. Yep. Do that on April 9th. Alright. It's costing me Marines, but I've got a lot of Marines. I'm not that worried about my, the amount of Marines I have. 2 or 3 Marines is a small price to pay for destroying their planets utterly and completely. So those are both church worlds, and what I'm going to do is I'm just troll patrolling. I like that term. Troll patrolling between the two. So where do I want to go? I want to go to here. make sure to grab a lot more fuel. I'm actually going to buy back some of these blueprints. I have the money to, and I don't want them falling into the wrong hands. Anytime I see blueprints sitting on a world that doesn't belong to me, I'm going to do the same thing. Alright, more fuel, black market. Actually, wouldn't hurt for me to get some supplies either, because I am taking my time here. Alright, and yep, let's get back to just messing with them. And the idea is to basically... Oh, sure, you want to scan me? That's fine. The idea is to basically pressure them until they can't recover. So there are orbital stations about to come back online, but everything else is pretty well disrupted. So let's just sit here for 3 days. So April 20th or so, that orbital station ought to be operational, and then I'll just break it again. Yep, there it is. Alright, engage the orbital station. I really wish I could just tell, my second in command to do it, but I have to do it. Alright, another thing I could do is to put the low-level pilots into the spots, into the, some of the astrals, and temporarily swap out the high-level pilots just to level them up so that when I add more carriers to my fleet, they're capable. As you can see, I'm just soloing here. I'm just, for once, for no reason whatsoever, being economical about my supplies. Rare, yes, I know. Maybe I should have sent one ship, because I'm sort of over flux. What I could do is dip behind this debris. And just do it, yep, see their big shots. Got absorbed up. Alright, and now I'm back in it. That shield's coming down. There goes your section. Ooh. I don't know what kind of shots those were. Some sort of big ballistic rounds. Just barely missed my port side rear. Alright, cool. Yeah, there's almost no spoils. Alright, so taking a look. Everything is super, super disrupted. Let's go over to their last world. And then what I think I'm going to do is a quick run up back home. Just to set things right back there. Colony info. Orbital station needs to be disrupted. Oh, actually, no, not disrupted, but like literally destroyed. I didn't put the low-level pilots in, but I'll try to remember to do that. A part of me almost wishes to just show you what a saturation bombardment is, and then like to save and load. But I haven't save scummed in this game so far, and I'd feel bad about doing it, even if it was for research. But maybe we'll get to a point where you all vote to just saturation bombard all of my enemies and depopulate their planets until I'm the, like, Like Highlander, you know, the last remaining one. Alright, you guys push to the station. I love the remnant fighter swarm. It is fun to watch. And it completely overwhelms the ship's ability to deal, or the station's ability to deal with anything. They get so swarmed that their point defenses, their, you know, their guns, everything is just like, whoop, have no idea what's going on here. That's fun. I really, really like... I haven't... A lot of my past series, I haven't actually used a whole lot of bombarding. So, let's analyze the planet before I launch a raid. Really, nothing needs disruption. Man, the orbital station comes back pretty quick. Okay. Heading home. Just gonna transverse jump out of here. I've got plenty of fuel and supplies, so no problem. I'm sure there's colony threats that I've just not been dealing with. No, they're all super disrupted. Never mind. I guess I did deal with them. I guess all of the Pather cell attacks on the Belters were all from one. And disrupting the one disrupted every terror cell, which is pretty convenient. So other things I'd like to do. Oh, pirate activity in Rama. Maybe I can catch this on the way home. I don't know where the pirate activity is from, though. Oh, tanker took damage. So for everybody that has been suggesting that I do a modded playthrough after this wraps up, that's been suggested from one of my patrons. Right now I have a sort of a suggestion box that my Patreon patrons can suggest games that I play for upcoming series. And a modded Starsector is already in the suggestion box. So for all the people that were wanting to see something like that, it will be up to vote on soon, which is pretty cool. Alright, so got a Pather and pirate base located. Perdition, you are my commerce, I do believe. Here's the open market. I don't mind the little tax from the open market, because I've got so much money, it doesn't really matter. Before I forget to do it, the Astrals, Hector, and Mermillon, you're going to be temporarily replaced with the Lobies, just so that the Lobies can level up. Alright, do I have Gamma Cores in storage somewhere? If it was in storage, it'd be at Luboeta, I think, but I'll check everything. So I have high-tech blueprints. Got the 2 pristine nanoforges left over. Maybe those actually were, maybe those were picked up from the ruins delving. It's quite possible. I don't recall having 2. Okay, I'm going to take a ton of fuel. Nothing was at Luboeta core-wise. I might actually have to do some remnant hunting to get Tig nice and upgraded. No, nothing's over here. What about you, Tig? I don't think... Or Yig, whatever it's called. I keep saying Tig because it's a type of welding. Tig and MIG welding. No, nothing. Managing the colony. Yeah, I don't have any cores on me. But, you know what? You guys are looking pretty good. What if I incentivize a little growth. One other thing I wanted to check on is, so market share. Yeah, my market share for mining is actually not that high. So if I did want to get 50% market share in sort of every industry, I have a lot of work to do. Another thing I wanted to do is figure out where I might colonize next, because I need a new colonizable target. But let's go ahead with Intel, go to warning beacons. Or actually, no. First, colony threats. I know exactly it's Delta Dana. And then there's also a base. This Pather base is not actually harassing me, so I could not care less about it. I don't care who they're harassing. It doesn't directly help me blowing up their Pather base. That works for me. Alright, so there's some pirates over here. Where's your stupid base? Oh, I guess it's up here. In the nebula. Smart. Trying to hide yourself. Doesn't really work if I have good sensors. Alright, me and the Astrals. Trying to level up the Lobies, as I said, and blowing up pirate bases is a really good way to level up. They're both, like, reckless, I think. So they're going to throw themselves at this pirate base, which is great. Yeah, as you can see, there's just a swarm. Look at that cloud. You're in a nebula? Well, I'm bringing my nebula. Not that the structural spurs need to be destroyed, but, like, I mean, why not, right? They're in my way. I can see why this pirate base chose to hide. It is barely a base. I'm now just laser bombing it. It also might be about time for me to showcase the use of a onslaught. I will think about doing that. I don't use onslaughts a lot, so I actually don't know how to outfit them well. But yeah, we could figure it out. I'll get one manufactured here in a moment. So one thing I want to do is try to chase down some more AI cores, so that I can install them as governors. Let's move that further. Alright, they leveled up. So, Saturn Belt. Oh my god, your last name's Belter. That's fantastic. I didn't notice. Alright, so they... Schwartz here has the 3 carriers, and he has 2. Good. They're on their way to being pretty decent, reckless Astro commanders. Let's do custom production. So, I had another suggestion. Tanth asked, what does a typical patrol look like? And I'll take a look at that in just a second. But here's my onslaught. With the onslaught, let's do ballistic types. So, I'm going to add... I'm going to add some weapons to the queue for outfitting once it gets manufactured. The typical patrols I've got look like this. It's a Paragon and 2 Astrals. That's a typical patrol with some Apogees and some Geminis. It's a pretty dirty patrol. I mean, that's 3 battleships, potentially. Alright, so next up, I was hoping to chase down some remnants so I can steal their AI cores. And usually it's just easiest to go to the nearest beacon. I know the warning beacon at Dis doesn't mean anything anymore because I've blown up their nexus. Maybe I shouldn't have, so I could farm them, but here's another warning beacon, so all's well. And this will also really quickly level up my new pilots. Oh, hello. Oh my god. Listening to that bleeping of, like, enemy ships on contact radar. Beep, 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 beep. It's like a proximity sensor, because they are carriers. Makes sense. And this also gives me access to more remnant ships, or fighters, I should say, which is great because I was running out and low. So hopefully we get some of the good tech. Not just AI cores, but the fighters too. It's 2 reasons why I want to come and blow up some remnants. Alright, let's get the brilliance out of here. I know they have radiance. Or I thought they did. In their fleet. Maybe I was wrong. I was fairly certain when I engaged there was a radiant or 2. I see that auto pulse laser ready to line up on me. Alright, I'm gonna get my shields up. This is odd. Normally the remnants come straight at you, but I have to go hunt them, which is very strange. I think just because they're fighting the fighters, they're being like overwhelmed and kind of going everywhere. Alright, that one's disabled, so there's just this one ship as far as I could tell. In a way, this reminds me of like Mountain Blade. I remember playing Mountain Blade and not knowing where the enemies are, so I just sort of follow where all of the AI is headed. Alright, so here's 4 Gamma Cores, that's exactly what I was after, and some remnant fighters and bombers. And then the rest of this stuff I'll take. There's 2 debris clouds here, and they're kind of mixing. Whatever, I'll leave them. Alright, I see a ton more remnant fleets. So none of these have the big ships. Oh my god, this is going to be a crazy fight. Oh, actually, not too many of the enemy fleets merged. Well, I forgot to level up my lobies, but it's fine. I'll just keep stacking XP on them. Got like half of the remnant fleets in this system bearing down on me. This is terrific. Providing I don't lose any ships. Perfect. Alright, I want to get my flux down, so let's just blow this guy up real quick and then vent. this one too. Literally collateral damage. I wasn't even firing at those two smaller ships. They just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not that I was not going to shoot them, but... I'm really rather curious why there aren't Radiants in these fleets. The biggest ships they've got are like Brilliants. Not to say Brilliants are small, but I was kind of hoping for the big boys. So I think they have, when you blow up them, you have a far greater chance of the Alpha Cores. Although this gives me fighters, so I hope. Alright, I'm max flux. Let me just try to get out of the way. Or just sit here like this for a second. How's everyone else doing? One of the Paragons took a little bit of damage, but is otherwise okay. Okay, this Astral needs to stop bumping me in my butt. So many scintillas. I better get a lot of fighters out of this. Here, just focus fire on that one. Get this stupid thing off my bum. You! Go away. Now we should be wrapping up here in just a sec. This was a big fleet. This was like 2 or 3 fleets combined that came up against us. Man, Brilliants are so strong. I kind of wish you could pilot them. Like, I'm full... Like, everything in my ship is blasting this Brilliant, and I mean, obviously I'm winning like crazy, but it somehow manages to tank like a fair portion of the shots I put in it. The tankiness of these smaller ships is just incredible. But it would be super, super imbalanced if players could use them, because they're very overpowered. Pound for pound, Remnant ships are definitely the best. Or at least in my opinion, I don't know. I bet you agree with me. Given how much I have to nuke this one little... This teeny little Brilliants. They're like a 1/8 of the size of a Paragon. Well, maybe not an 1/8, but like a 1/5 of the size of a Paragon. But nearly take my entire flux pool to blow up. Where you go? Are you retreating? Are you the first Remnant ship to retreat ever in the history of Remnant ships? Get over here. He was just trying to vent flux. And now I have 2 of them in my face. The one on my left is just getting blown up from my allies, so I'm not even going to pay it any attention. Alright, who's left? There is 2 brilliants over there. 1 brilliant over there. Cool. Oh yeah, Alpha Core. That's what I'm talking about. And some betas and gammas. I like. Alright, fleet pilots. Damage control. Helmsmanship. Alright, you're maxed out. So we got the acceleration, not the top speed out of helmsmanship. That's fine. Alright, so you got the invasive. Okay, so they're all maxed out. Let's put the original pilots back. And we'll just know that if we add some additional carriers, I totally got pilots ready to go. Alright, I'm not retreating. I'm just trying to give a chance for my ships to repair, and I guess that is technically retreating. But I fully intend to fight these dudes. I just want my ships to have their combat readiness go back up. Whoa, and flying into the sun will not do that for me. Nope, still, what is it, 8 days? Alright, Yig. Got the melee base. I'm going to upgrade to high command. Let's go ahead and growth incentivize all the others. I've got the coin to do it. I'm not really using the money, any of my money right now, so might as well pay people to move there. That's essentially what it is. We'll pay you for you to move to my planet. Okay, there's their nexus. Let's thread the needle here. I don't see any giant fleets. But let's go to debris fields, because that could be interesting. Don't you interdict me? Nope. This debris field definitely was not interesting. Oops, I didn't mean to go dark. Also, probably don't need to have my, ooh, a lot of organs on that, to have my, transponder on. Yoink! Alright, so let's fight all of those at once. Oh, there is a radiant in that cluster. So I think my fleets are good to go. So okay, the radiant didn't actually get aggroed into this fight. Now it doesn't really matter who I deploy. I'm just trying to be economical about it. There we go. Because everyone's level 20. I mean, it does matter, but I'm not going to deploy my smuggler. But with everybody level 20, it's not like anyone stands to gain from the experience. Ooh, you got little teleporter boys. Little lumens. Lumens are the high-tech wolves. Fulgence. I really like being side by side with another Paragon and just like lining up on the same target. There's something very gratifying about just melting through a ship. Oh, come on. It got away. I'm mostly focused on just the larger ships. The, as long as they don't torpedo me, I can pretty much ignore them. They're not going to hurt me. Plus, the Paragon's not great at fighting those little warping ships, because my turn radius isn't amazing. Just making sure that my Odysseys and other ships that are deployed are doing okay. They seem to be. I mean, if something gets destroyed, I can just chalk it up to survival of the fittest. So if I lose, let's say, an Odyssey, it was meant to be. I'll replace it with some other ship. I'd understand if a ship died to a Radiant, battleship to battleship. I get that. But if they die to, like, a Brilliant, like a cruiser or destroyer class ship, then they didn't deserve to be a ship anyway. Alright. Oh, I thought I hit Fortress Shield, but nope, I just overloaded myself. Of course I did. Unfortunately, the Astral right next to me sent all their fighters to that Brilliant. He got so caught up in trying to fight the fighters that he wasn't able to actually use his auto pulse laser to hurt me at all, even though I was sitting there right off of his bow, unable to react. Yeah, that's one of the real advantages of the fighters, is when the battle is clogged full of fat ships, the fighters can very easily deploy to where they're needed quickly. Ooh boy. That's a lot of... That's just delicious down there. And look at the... yes, look at the fighters I'm getting. Alright, how, caution to the wind. Let's just go. Alright, I will deploy a different subset. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, they have a lot of fighters out. As do I, as you can see, by this Lumen just getting swarmed. Ouch! I took so much damage out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere, I just wasn't paying attention. The starboard side of my ship just got really brutalized without me paying attention. I mean, I'm not at risk of losing my ship, but yikes. 5-second gap of attention, and I've got a big old hole. Alright, forget that glimmer. Let's go over the radiant. Because looks like Talon is needing some help. And Vreedog looks like Flux is going up, up, up. You could always Fortress, though. Alright, now you're going to be jumping, but you're still in my range. Fortunately, whatever progress I made on that Radiant will have to wait a second, because this Fulgent jumped in my face. Oof. Get your shields up. Nah, he's gonna hide behind all the fighters. Alright, thank you, Talon, for absorbing that barrage. I'm finding it very difficult to focus on the Radiant with all the support ships that keep coming to help. The Scintillas, for instance. So we'll just blow these up. Save the best for last. What's crazy to me is all of these ships that I have blown up already, I haven't even freed up enough deployment points to deploy a battleship. Oh, my Legion just blew up. Well, rip to the Legion. Because, yeah, this Paragon went off to go destroy something on the flanks, leaving the Legion front and center with the Radiant. We'll replace the Legion with an Astral. I probably can recover the Legion. But I'm just going to replace it with an Astral anyway. Again, like I said, survival of the fittest. I did also say that if you die to a Radiant, it's understandable given how unbelievably strong Radiants are, but for whatever reason, I wanted a high-tech fleet. I wanted a laser disco ball of death. I feel like a lot of the other ships in my fleet are just not... Yeah, they're just hanging back. I don't know why. Get up here. Get over here. I ain't soloing. Now, I do have the skill to make it so that... I overloaded right at the last second. I was about to hit Fortress. And now I'm going to get auto-pulsed. 3 more seconds of free shots, and then you're done. You're done. I do have it so that, generally speaking, if there's a pilot commanding the ship is recoverable at the end of the fight. That's a... Oh! Jeez. Stupid brilliant. Alright, I just tanked with my face. Not the best strategy, but a workable one if you're... No! Come on! Near the end of the fight. Oh, is that another Radiant? Oh my goodness. Alright, we'll have to be more careful with this one. But they don't have a lot of fighter spam to hide behind, so You are my focus, Mr. Radiant. Alright, there's Brilliance coming in on my flanks. So I better get through this dude quick. He's gonna jump. Where's your jump? There it is. You're still in my range. Good. There we go. I zero flux vented to build up my zero flux speed so it can't get away. Boom! Chocolata. Alright, claim victory. Consider ship recovery. Talon. I'll recover. Pick through the wreckage. Alright, I'm over fuel capacity. And I'm over storage capacity. So I can't really pick anything up anymore. Let me just jump out. What I could do is just repair Talon. I did mention that if you die to a Radiant, I make an exception of the survival of the fittest. So I won't renege on that promise. We'll get Talon back up to strength. Let's hit a Libuetta. Oh, nope. Head to the Yig. Alright, that's fine. Repair ships. That's actually works to my benefit, because I can drop a bunch of gamma cores over here. And then let's head over to Libuetta. We're going to have to pick up some new crew, though, because we're crew understaffed. As you can see, my max combat readiness is pretty bad. When that ship blew, we lost a lot of good crewmates. Alright, so now we're overstaffed by about 200. That should give us some wiggle room. Let's go over to Perdition and sell off on the open market. Okay, making sure that I'm not selling anything I want to keep, and I don't believe I am. Pay the big old tariff. I'm fine with that. Alright, taking a look at the fleets. Put a Rise Edwards back in Talon. We also need to repair Talon. Or refit. So let's, put you back where you belong. And then, refit, restore. This is stupid expensive, but I'll do it because you died admirably. Now we have all these, now we have a ton of fighters that I could hook up. So what do we have? We have 3 flash bombers in one. Let's see about 3 flash bombers in the other. And then I'm going to do 3 fighters, 3 bombers. So 5 and 4. Oh, there's a little bit of a difference of the hurricanes. And then this is also missing 1 tack laser. Alright, that's perfect. I literally have no flex left over, but do I have a hurricane? No, I don't have a hurricane. I don't think I can make the hurricane MIRVs anyway. So there's a little bit of a change between these two ships. Let me see if I can make hurricanes. Custom production. weapons. No, I can only make squalls. Alright, go back to fleet. Refit you with 2 bombers, 2 fighters. That's a little bit more punch. You also have a ton of venting, so what am I missing here? Cyclone Reapers. Let's go over to Whiteout, where I do believe that I just made a whole bunch of weapons and refit over there. Because railguns, oops, not light mortars. Railguns are going to be a little bit nicer than the light mortars. There's really, okay, so you have 2 point defense, which is kind of the problem on this ship. But that's okay. So we just replaced a bunch with railguns. For weapon groupings... yeah, actually, they're kind of fine. Okay, and... over here... oh, we wanted tactical lasers, didn't we? Okay, I don't have any made... but the fighter base here, I'm going to put 2 actual fighters in, not interceptors. What we're going to want to do is, on this ship, hook it up full of tac lasers. Yes, so let's custom produce a bunch of tactical lasers. I guess we're still making the onslaught. We don't have that yet. Managing the colony... so I would say the orbital works is probably the only thing warranting the alpha core. But then some of my industries like mining, farming, tech mining, I can do the betas. High command, that could be back to gamma. I'm just going to have to be, yeah, even my megaport back to gamma. Anything that produces, I'm just going to make sure that I'm min-maxing my core usage. So that's Whiteout. Let's go over to Perdition, do the same thing. And this will free up a lot more cores for colonization. So that's very good. So here is what we're doing. Industries that produce things get betas, like fuel production. Well, fuel production is a little different. But Patrol HQ... I'm going to actually end up with a ton of betas, aren't I? Megaports. Yeah, maybe I have to change the rules I just enacted, because they don't make... maybe they don't make too much sense. So mining gets a beta. Tech mining gets a beta. Refining gets a beta. I guess I had a ton of alpha cores. I just... now I need to go use them. Colonize aggressively. And let's go to Yig. Well, I guess the aggressive colonization could be for next episode, because I'm just about out of time, aren't I? So this should be a gamma. Alright, so we're following the rules that industries get gammas, or betas, everything else gets a gamma. AI cores are the administrators, except for the orbital works. That's the one exception. I think Whiteout just made... I didn't see the production report, but I think it just made the onslaught. Let me make sure that it did. Oh, I have 2 onslaughts. Okay, cool. Well, and I have a astral for one of the fighters. So what I'm going to do... you know what I could do? Manage the colony. Fleet. Robinator. All these... okay, so I've hit maximum fleet size. Sorry, glitch. And Get a ton of crew. Oh, I guess I had crew that I didn't need to spend money on. Whoopsie. If you take... what I'll do is I will set this fleet up. Kevin, I think you're going to be left. I know. I'll just name a new Kevin. I know that that's the ship you wanted, but it's just too small for us to... legitimately use. And I'm just going to throw some of the guys in where they need to be. Some of my pilots. And this potentially will be my new ship. What I want to do is the only fighters that enter the combat, I want to be pilots. I want to have been piloted. Let's refit you and restore you. Done. Some of these ships, of course, need better fighters. That was expensive. And then this will replace my ship so I can show off midliners or low-tech ships. Let's move you up. As you can see, the 14th battle group. I actually might take command of the 14th. No, I'm going to leave it. All right, guys. Well, that's all the time I have for this episode. Let me know what you think about my goal to switch to a low-tech ship, just to highlight it. Also, my goal of trying to destabilize the church and really any of my enemies, hegemony as well, destabilize their planets to the point where they're useless. Or if you want to just see me carpet bomb. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'll put up a poll. I'm going to put up a poll and link it in the description or in the comments and as a voting card at the start of the episode about whether you want me to try to destabilize and not commit any war crimes or just to bomb them into oblivion. So yeah, go vote on that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all next time. Adios.